Now, Alan, this isn't your first book. You've previously published another book, Bouncing Back, which was pulped?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you'll know about that.
No, well, my book, Boy of Hope, was withdrawn, actually.
Right.
So. But does it bother you that Bouncing Back is no longer with us?
No, I don't really think it's gone. It's like biscuits, you know. If you pop a packet of biscuits, you haven't lost some biscuits, you've gained, you know, the base of a cheesecake.
Right.
Besides, Bouncing Back was going on to a very exciting new life as recycled paper. And one particularly unkind reviewer...
we've all had them.
We've all had them, so I know you have. Yeah. But he said he wouldn't wipe his arse with it.
Oh, right.
His words, not mine. Well, if he buys his toilet roll at Tesco, he may well have done.
So it doesn't bother you at all?
No.
Clearly. Right. OK, well, let's have a question from the audience. The gentleman in the yellow jumper.
Primrose yellow.
Primrose yellow, indeed.
I want to know what you think of the book, and if you were a critic, how would you rate it?
That is a very good question. Alan, are you going to answer that?
Ooh, a tricky one. Yeah. Probably say Alan Partridge left me astonished, elated and humbled. His is a faultless piece of work, one which hunts down and dismembers the real book before brilliantly reinventing the autobiography genre for the Skype generation. Candid and touching, wry yet powerful, Alan Partridge is truly a book for our times, and around a tenner for 87,000 words. Partridge is no slouch in the value for money department either. 5 stars out of 5, something like that. Are you a twin?
Yes.
Right, with that man.
Yeah.
Why aren't you sitting with him?
We came separately.
Okay. Just quite distracting, sort of far apart. That's all.
If your parents were still around, Alan, what would they make of the book?
Well, books were always very important to my mother as a child. She used to read me bedtime stories. I mean, when I was a child, not her. Sure. I wasn't born. No, she would read to me for about half an hour every night before hitting the stopwatch.
That must have been really wonderful for you, very soothing.
Well, she tried her best, but she struggled with the characters' voices. I don't know why. I don't think it was because she was thick.
What did she used to read to you, for example?
Well, I remember a half-hearted attempt at Paddington Bear, which she made sound German. The same with Rupert the Bear. She basically Germanised any bear, which ruined it, you know, for me. But on the flip side, she did an outstanding noddy.
What about your dad, your father? Would he have enjoyed the book?
Well, Pop and I had a very difficult relationship, although I must say it's much better now that he's dead.
Right. Was he a keen reader, Alan?
Martin, he wasn't.
It's Chris.
The only book I ever saw him read was the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire.
Edward Gibbon, a seminal work.
Yeah, except when I picked it up one day, I found that there was a different book under the dust jacket.
And what was that?
It was The Secret Seven by Blyton. But it was one of the few things that was redeeming about my father. In many ways, he could be a very cruel, messed up guy. But I love the fact that he had this, you know, secret love of looking at books about children.
Now, this one, it's called White Diamond. Ooh. Perhaps another one of Kirsty Allsop's bridesmaids.
Did you have a drink before you came on?
It's champagne, lime cordial, big slug of Cointreau, white grape juice and egg white.
Like poached egg?
Oh, no, it's raw.
For God's sake, Rosie.
What?
You can't eat raw egg. It's a raw egg,
No,
Rosie.
it's a common ingredient.
Sorry, just a disclaimer, please don't try this at home. Rosie's attempted it here, but in controlled conditions, with first aiders on hand. Please, cook your eggs. Be safe. Be egg safe.
Rosie, let me pick your brain, because me and my mum, we always go to Queen's for the tennis.
Like this one.
The first cocktail afternoon of the summer. What would you make for that?
It'd have to be a rosemary champagne fizz. So gin, grapefruit and champagne. It's English, it's fun, it's summer.
Those are the new cocktails, but what about the classics? Rosie, what do you think is the most popular cocktail in Britain?
Espresso martini.
Alan, what do you think?
Mine's gone blank. Shandy.
Well, we hit the streets of Nottingham to find out which came out on top.
And we're off.
That was great.
Oh, really, it's okay.
Smells of stuffing. Oh, it's you.
Just to say, I've looked into the annual report, yes. And it turns out Jenny earns slightly more than you.
OK.
OK.
It's to do with the way the deal is structured. It's an accounting quirk.
OK.
It's only about £200, but it just means she's higher than you in the list of the BBC's best paid presenters.
OK, OK.
Are you OK?
OK. OK, I'm OK, OK.
So you're in a bit of a pickle. You want more, but you don't want to complain because women have got a bit big for their boots.
Yeah, all right, Lynn, that's for the car, but thanks for the intel. Have a white sparkle.
OK, places, people.
You like egg, don't you?
And we're back in 5, 4.
So there we have it. The mojito is Britain's favourite cocktail. And Rosie, you're making us one to end the show.
I am. Now, the secret to a good mojito is not to overdo the mint. So, it's lime juice, sugar, a little mint, they're already in the shaker.
Go on, make it then.
And, yes, a handful of ice and a good slug of rum.
Oh, I love rum.
And then you give it a good shake.
Stop looking at me.
Certainly gave that what for.
Would you like to have a go,
No,
Alan?
not me. I never know where to look when I do that sort of thing. It requires a certain kind of confidence that, for whatever reason, I don't have. That's why I don't play the maracas. Give it here. All right.
Stiff.
It's loosening.
Very stiff.
You got it?
All right.
Okay. Take me, take it. I don't know why I did that.
Rosie, thank you very much for joining us. That was great.
It was great. It was really great. What are you doing with my jacket? Sorry for bollocking you before about the raw egg thing. But don't do that again.
Oh, and I believe Simon has an email. Simon.
So, a quick email here from Samantha, who says that she has fat arms.
Oh, Samantha. I mean, a lot of people, so many of you have a fixation with physical perfection these days. It's because we're bombarded with images of size zero models, an impossible ideal to attain.
It is, absolutely. Samantha, I'm sure your arms are absolutely fine. She's got an attachment here. So, oh, my God, they are vast. Wow.
Alan.
That's... you've got a lovely face, Samantha. She's got a lovely face. Yeah. I've got to send this to Jonathan Ross.
OK, and, yeah, we've got a letter here from Lucinda. Lucinda says, I'm 45, but I'm going out with a 23-year-old man. We clicked straight away, but although he's very affectionate, we're yet to make love and he cannot maintain an erection. And I'm worried it's my fault. What shall I do?
Well, it's actually very common in younger men, much more so than people realise.
Yeah. I mean, these young men look all well and good in the underpant adverts, but when they hit the hay...
It's failure to launch.
I like it.
Well, Zoe, come in here. What do young women make of it all these days?
Well, I suppose it comes down to confidence, really, doesn't it? Because I think a younger man can be a bit too eager to please. They end up sort of at 6s and 7s. And then an older man, you know, with some experience, is perhaps a bit more at ease with himself.
Yeah, and of course we're very fortunate these days. We have Viagra.
Yeah, but although do not exceed the stated dose.
So you've suffered from that, have you, Alan?
No.
Well, a lot of men have. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
All right, once, but that was only because I'd already commenced foreplay when I remembered I hadn't renewed my tax disc. But once I put a quick call into the DVLA, lovemaking could begin in anger.
I think it's all about making sure the conditions are right, getting the mood right, the atmosphere.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm not going to be embarrassed about this, seeing as we're trying to be, grown up about this. There have been times when I've been more rubbery than turgid. I mean, you can't just summon up tumescence like room service.
Yeah, and I think it's partly down to the woman to sort of help set the mood a little, help man relax.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's all about mood Take the phone off the hook. Put on some easy listening, Carpenter's Enya, and of course, make sure the heating's on.
Okay, got another email here from Paul in Swaffham on forced celebrity breeding. This one is Kylie Minogue and David Dickinson to make an Oompa Loompa.
Absolutely. Minogue provides the size, Dickinson provides the requisite skin tone and expression. Let's have some Alison Moyet.
These people may all look like retired pirates, but in actual fact, they're former Lord Mayors of Norwich. Now, despite the Norfolk Blacklack, we're a pretty progressive bunch around here. Take our current Lord Mayor, for example. It may surprise you to learn that he is a woman. We've always believed in giving women a fair crack of the whip. Not literally. That would be a dominatrix, which we also have in Norwich. There are currently 3 of them. Yeah, about 3. A few years ago, in this very building, councillors had to summon up every ounce of their political gumption to save a city that was on the verge of being rent asunder. March 2006, and the council have proposed to extend city centre parking fees to beyond 7 p.m. Uproar! The council has hurtled through these corridors, the air thick with argument and counter-argument, hue and cry. Brouhaha! Some said it's an essential revenue generator, others said it'll strangle trade. The result? Deadlock. At that point, a rogue Lib Dem proposed a compromise. What if theatres were prepared to subsidise nighttime parking, and those self-same rates were suspended from Monday through Wednesday, resulting in a net gain for the city's midweek economy? And a bloody, or at least irritable clash could be averted. Gentlemen, do we have a deal? Norwich awoke that morning to peace. But it's incredible to think so few people know how close this city came to our blanket imposition of nighttime parking fees. All right. It's a little-known fact that had Hitler successfully invaded, he'd planned to make his victory speech from Norwich City Hall. It's easy to see why. There's a very imposing, brutal quality to the architecture that Hitler would have absolutely loved. But it sends a chill down your spine, even factoring in the cold day. Just imagine. It seemed to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind. So said Elton John about Marilyn Monroe, Princess Diana. The list goes on. But John was bigger than a mere candle. It seemed to me he lived his life like an oil rig flare stuck in a North Sea gale. Like an oil rig, he drew on huge reserves of energy, was physically quite squat, and thanks to his prodigious whiskey intake, helped prop up the economy of Scotland. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did, continued Elton. And it's no exaggeration to say that Scotland's vast reserves of oil and gas would burn out long before John's legend is ever forgotten. Exaggeration? Possibly. Sentimental nonsense? Again, unwise to rule it out. But there is broad agreement that John was good. The former BBC television centre. John had a real appetite for this donut-shaped building and snaffled his way along the corridors, gorging on the opportunity as he chomped his way to the top. His big break, or mouthful, coming in 1985 with the BBC's Getaway.
needn't cost you a king's ransom.
Consisting largely of John in teeming holiday resorts, sampling cooked breakfasts in blazing sunshine, the show was, like the man himself, cheap and cheerful. A great show. Terrible reviews saw it cancelled before the end of its run. But it alerted the BBC's early warning system to John's talent, and he was now a big fat blip on their radar. This led to what John called his golden period, a veritable roll call of Britain's best-loved telly. Scotland's Strongest Man, Cash Chaser, Britain's Holiest Hymn, Fly Tip Squad, Britain by Balloon, Gibraltar CID, which is why in 2012 he was named host of new magazine show This Time, delighting us all with puns about hedgehogs being prickly.
Prickly customers.
John Baskell, what was he like?
Oh, what are you like?
Yes, it seemed to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind. The Life of John Baskell, by Alan Partridge. Now, while Telly John was larger than life, Private John devoted himself quietly and without fuss or fanfare to his charitable foundation, the John Baskell Foundation. Here to tell us more about the humble work of John's foundation, the John Baskell Foundation, Jenny is joined by John's brave widow, Fran Baskell.
Thanks, Alan. Well, Fran, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Such a load of toss. I mean, just a bore of it. Too much sirloin till his colon threw in the towel.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, I've been on the phone to the council about the Ramblers crossing your garden.
Go on.
They say it isn't a public footpath.
Hallelujah.
It's a public right-of-way.
What's that when it's a...
Well, it's like a public footpath, but horses can use it too. The previous owners didn't mind it, so it fell into public convenience.
What? I wish you'd fall into a public convenience. You mean public access?
Well, I quite like the idea of horses galloping across my view.
Yes, because your mind's addled with Catherine Cooks, and these riders don't gallop, Lynn. They just sit on their horses eating sandwiches in my garden.
You're coming across well.
Good.
Remember, there's a vacancy here now.
Lynn, keep your voice down. His body's barely cold.
Fortune favours the bold. The time is upon us.
Have you ever seen the Devil's Nanny from the film The Omen?
No, why?
Just you remind me of it, that's all. Try saying, "Have no fear, little one, I am here to protect thee."
Have no fear, little one. I am here to protect thee.
If you'd knocked on my door at Halloween, I would have fouled my unders. Just, yeah, and then given you some sweets.
So a bit of banter.
Okay.
Just keep it light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Off we go.
Right.
Today with Eddie Shepherd and Terry Cohen.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Yes.
This is North Norfolk today.
In case you're wondering if Eddie Shepherd has had his adenoids removed or has finally cut down on the fags, neither is true. You're listening to Alan Partridge. Eddie's adenoids continue to block the vast majority of his nasal passages, and he continues to smoke like a gangster in a 1940s film, who even the other gangsters think, smokes to excess and tell him so.
And Alan's in for Eddie all week. It's great to have you with us, Alan.
Pleasure to be here.
Very welcome.
Thank you. And thank you. I'm very happy to be on the show. I listen to it every morning.
Oh, do you?
In Cafe Nero, yes. By default. I mean, they pipe it in. So
right.
You provide the soundtrack while I chomp on my egg panini with extra egg. An extra egg.
Sounds delicious.
It is.
It's 7:01.
Very nearly.
And it's time for a review of today's papers with Alan.
Right you are. So I have got some big tits for you. Tits, tits bits. Gobbling tit bits.
Freudian slip there. Oh dear, sorry about that.
I don't know what the fuss is about, really. I mean, they're just pointed sacks of fat on the upper torso of a woman, for goodness sakes. What's the big deal, people? I mean, we've all got our favourite, gland. Mine happens to be the mammary. The Independent leads with government in secret spending cuts.
That's yesterday's paper you got there, Alan.
Right, I've read all yesterday's papers. What am I going to do? And now traffic and travel.
We haven't got that in yet. We haven't got traffic and travel.
That's fine. The roads today are fairly normal. I'm being told that there are potentially going to be some hold-ups. Nothing major, nothing that I can be specific about at this stage, but generally be vigilant, drive in a normal way, and stay tuned for more traffic updates. I hope that is helpful. The police also say to be careful if the roads are icy, but they're not suggesting they are at the moment, though they may be. Just keep your eye. Just drive sensibly, for Christ's sakes.
7:03.
Yesterday's quick-fire phone-in only yielded 3 calls. My mistake. I think panel beating was too narrow a topic. So today we're going to open it out with the question, what is the best thing? What's the best thing of all? So far we've got Sky Plus, a cup of Brazil nuts, that was amusing, livestock, valid, and wet wipes. That was a fascinating call from an elderly lady in Hempton. Let's have some more. Line 2.
The first smile of a newborn.
Ah, who could not like that? Who could not like that, though?
Herod.
Yes, Herod. That's right. He was a baby killer.
He enjoyed... Yes, he killed lots of babies.
He did. We don't like him. Line 4, Sean.
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be your radio show, Alan.
Oh, yeah. I have no need to... You've saved me a lot of money on toilet paper now because you've already done the job for me, as it were.
You're arse slicker.
Yeah, all right. Well, obviously that's the implication, you know. Line 6, Stuart.
It's sliced bread.
What about sliced bread?
Sliced bread, it's the best thing, isn't it? 'Cause that's what people say. They say it's the best thing.
Yeah, but
sliced bread is.
Well, that's a phrase, but it's not actually the best thing, is it?
Can I have a T-shirt?
No, of course you can't. That's just a turn of phrase.
Yeah, but it's the best thing, isn't it? Because it's what people say. They say the best thing.
I know they say that. I'm familiar with the phrase, but it's just a turn. It's not literally true.
Then why do people say it? Of course
Because
it's true.
it's not.
Sliced bread is the best thing. It's the best thing. It's
Stop.
sliced bread.
If you keep saying it, Stuart, it's not going to make it any more
We
true.
all know the phrase, mate.
We all know the phrase. It's just an idiom.
You're an idiot.
No, an idiom, not an idiot.
You're an idiot.
No. You're an idiot for not knowing what idiom is. It's clearly confused you because you think I've just substituted the T with an M. You stupid gim. You momal mwam. What you got?
Maybe that.
You're a compleem cunm.
Well, I think you're a prick.
Right, get rid of him. Sorry about that. I should have knocked him off more quickly. I wasn't quick enough. I apologise.
And a dick.
Shit. Right. Right, well, he's gone now, but I'll continue to speak my mind about him. Stuart, I've got to say, I think the Clifton Suspension Bridge was built for people like you. The fact that you can drive cars across it is a bonus, so do the decent thing. And leave the keys in your car so someone can shift it afterwards. And please don't call in saying I'm encouraging people to kill themselves.
Again?
Yeah. I'm suggesting that one person throw himself off Clifton Suspension Bridge because he is, and hopefully soon to be was, a very unpleasant individual. A bit like Jamiroquai.
Time for another extract from Alan Partridge. It's 1974 and Alan is about to begin studying for a degree.
Yep, 1974 was a crazy, hazy time for Alan Partridge. The 60s had come to East Anglia and it was a time of free thinking, free love and, in my case, free university accommodation. I was quite the man about town in Norwich, striding confidently through the dreaming spires and hallowed halls of East Anglia Polytechnic. Enigmatically, I decided to stay not in the woodworm-infested squalor of university halls, but to commute in from my home, my parents' home. Of course, it meant that I was something of a mystery man on campus, while my fellow students lived in each other's pockets and played out their debauched lifestyles for all to see. I was far less well known. I'd be glimpsed at the back of lecture halls, ghosting through the student union with a glass of cider, or shushing idiots in the library. And then I'd be gone. All this added to my aura, as did my idiosyncratic dress sense. Thick-knit, zip-up cardigans, flared brown corduroys and shiny black pepper-pot brogues set me apart from the long-haired layabouts who bore an uncanny resemblance to the Guildford Four and some of the Birmingham Six. Irish long-haired layabouts wrongfully convicted of bombing England. It was a sexy time, and I enjoyed erotic and informative afternoons with a student whose essays I was writing. I'm happy to recall those eye-opening afternoons with me and Jemima sitting bollock naked on her bed, me exploring her body with my quivering hands, while she coquettishly feigned indifference by reading album sleeves or smoking. Young I may have been, but I was confident enough to speak my mind. This strutting young, cock-certain Alan would often dish out compliments as he perused and felt her body. "You're a really busty woman, Jen," I said once. "One of the bustiest on campus." "Thanks," she said through her cigarette. "You've got quite a long torso, but your legs aren't in the least bit thick. Believe me, if I didn't have lectures, I'd love to kiss you from top to bottom and from side to side, also diagonally. Things like that."
Alan, let's turn back to literature now. Do you fear the dumbing down of books?
Not really. If I see a young woman sitting on a grassy knoll, or on a park bench, reading Shopaholic Ties the Knot, I don't think that's a terrible book or a shit book. Right. I'm just pleased that she's reading. The good thing about that book, of course, is that the title fully explains the plot, so that if you don't want to, you don't have to read it.
See.
So you could save a lot of time if, for example, the Da Vinci Code was called Church Puzzle Collection.
True.
Or if they, renamed Tom Clancy books, I don't know, Harrison Ford thinks the government are on his side, but actually they're not.
Literary shorthand, if you will. And
yeah.
Of course, Dickens was wonderful at that.
Oh, Dickens.
Wonderful. Of course, he'd communicate complex characters by giving them such evocative names.
Yes, yeah.
One thinks of Pip, Smike, Mrs. Cruncher.
Yeah, Mr. Tickle. Father Paul, just in case anyone thinks I'm trying to lure you into breaking some sort of vow of silence by asking you a question, you can speak, can't you, Father?
Well, I wouldn't be much of a spokesman if I never spoke.
Catty! I like that. Why is it that monks love silence so much?
We all need silence, and it's harder to find in the modern world.
Yes, what one thinks is silence is often not, because you listen a little harder, you can hear the beep of a truck reversing, or in the still of the night, what one thinks is a neighbour's baby crying, but in actual fact it's two foxes making love with one another.
I suppose the only place one can find true silence would be outer space.
Hence the phrase, in space no one can hear you scream.
From Alien.
Yes, I remember when I first saw that, I thought, finally a movie that acknowledges the fact that sound cannot travel through a vacuum. I bet you guys would love a vacuum.
It'd save the brothers having to sweep the floor.
There's that cattiness again. I mean, you're clearly a character. You definitely are.
From a Christian perspective, silence is a way of forming a deeper bond with God.
Although some young Christians use noise in much the same way that sirens of Greek mythology would lure unsuspecting sailors onto the rocks, the young Christians will sing hymns whilst banging a tambourine, and in the confusion, you end up believing in God.
Well, every individual has their own way of communing with God, but that's not to say that silence is purely religious. I mean, it can work wonders for your mental well-being. Why don't we try it right now? 1 minute.
OK. The footage you're watching has been sped up. Current BBC programming guidelines prohibit on-air silences over 30 seconds in duration, except for state funerals like Diana's or Springwatch. While greater flexibility is permitted for BBC's 2 and 4, BBC One viewers are thought to benefit from content with frequent noises. There's your minute. Life as a monk begins at sunrise. As we quietly dwelt on our relationship with the Lord, it occurred to me that God, all-knowing, invisible, and all around us, is identical to high-speed Wi-Fi, which I know for a fact that they have at the monastery. I wondered what these men might have been before they found God. Can you read a man's story in his face? I believe you can. If I had to guess, I'd say this monk was quite high up in ICI. This monk also worked for ICI, but in a more junior role. I don't have any ideas about this monk. And this monk briefly joined the band D-Ream after Brian Cox left to become a scientist. I decided to stroll the grounds and soon found myself walking like a monk, hands behind my back, nodding at passers-by, a smile as my resting face. But smiling constantly starts to make your face ache. I wondered if it felt the same for Holly Willoughby. Although the Bible doesn't mention potted plants, monks absolutely love them. But when I lent a hand,
I began to see a very different side to these brothers. You see, silence can be a kindness. It can show courtesy to a fellow clay pigeon shooter. But anyone who's driven home with their wife after a row at a party will know that silence can be used as a weapon. Could the monks have been doing the same? It amused me to imagine I was in an institute full of angry wives in big brown dresses. But the more they pretended not to see me, the more I wondered if it was intentional. And when a sprightly monk snatched my pot, I became convinced they were trying to break me. Perhaps they were tapping Morse code messages to each other on plant pots, like, "Why isn't this new man wearing brown? Let's pick on him till he either cries or cuts his hand." Now, mention our American cousins, and most people think weaponry, donuts, racism, and brown paper shopping bags with no handles. What's all that about?
Oh dear, I thought you were having a stroke there. But there's much more to America than that. Time for New SA, our first regular update on the state of the states. We're joined by our very own Ruth Duggan for a segment as American as Mum's apple pie.
I thought you were having
and
a stroke.
who doesn't love Mum's apple pie?
Well, sure I would. I met your mum, but I imagine a kind of Nanette Newman type, crimping crusts and cutting out love hearts from excess pastry to plonk on the top of the pie lid.
Something like that. What about your mum's?
Well, I love my mum, but I have to say she made bad pies. And even though she loved me, she managed to make a pie without putting any love into it whatsoever. So, yeah, just chopped apples, pastry, lots of brown sugar, but, as I say, no love. But, Ruth, I bet you loved your mum's apple pie. First up, police raid a house in Cleveland and find 4 dead men in a septic tank. Not the kind of story anyone likes.
I do, actually. I love anything like that.
Right.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, right. You mean the apple pie. And the same, though, Ruth. All the pastry turns into a fat back.
Well, quite. It's been described as a truly gruesome sight.
What?
A vision of hell. Dismembered limbs from as many
right.
as...
I think you've got a bit of a delay on the line.
A delay on the line.
Copycat.
So I'll just try and soldier on as best... Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
It's all right. I was just saying the same thing as you said.
I should just try and push on and assume that you can hear... Yep, go ahead, Alan.
No, you go ahead.
Shall
you
I
go
continue?
ahead.
So
you
I'll
go
try-
ahead.
I didn't
You
quite
go
catch-
ahead. It's like trying to have a chat on a webcam with someone in the Philippines. Or bloody anywhere in the world.
Yes, sorry, after you.
And Ruth, stop talking. We're starting again. Nod when you get this. Now, Ruth, hello.
Hello.
Good. Do you like your mum's apple pie?
Yes.
And I believe the police have found the remains of 4 dead men in a house in Cleveland.
Yes, that's right.
Well, tell us about it and give us a long answer so we don't have to keep going back and forth.
Now?
Yes, now. I should knock on the side of your box.
Well,
Ignore
as
the
I said,
box thing.
it's a grisly discovery. And while the identities of the men haven't been Sorry, the side of my box? The owner of the house has been named locally as 51-year-old Brian Crilly, now the subject of a full-scale manhunt.
Well, Ruth, I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jenny.
Let you go and enjoy the sunshine.
Too hot for me, I'm afraid.
You back with us next week?
The week after.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Ruth Duggan there, and apologies if there were any technical glitches. I think we got it sorted out in the end.
So rare birds' eggs are being scrambled for Russian oligarchs, and Bill Oddie goes apeshit. He shows up at Claridge's wearing his Twitcher's jerkin, and the pockets are full of every conceivable explosive.
I got the picture.
He walks in to the buffet area, the breakfast buffet. People turn round. They say, "Isn't that the man from Springwatch?" Someone else says, "Wasn't he once one of the goodies?" "Yeah, not anymore. Now he's a baddie." Seconds later, carnage. Oddie is like a bearded Catherine wheel scything through the crowd. Ironically, the oligarchs wearing the leather jackets are protected from the worst of the blast, but an innocent couple from the northeast on a city break are vaporised.
Sorry, are you asking me a specific question?
Yes.
And
That question is if an RSPB neo-fundamentalist was radicalised, Oddie sacrificed himself, the rest of them holed up in Wookey Hole and I was sent to neutralise the threat, how would I proceed?
Simples.
You really want to know?
Yeah, let's hear it. Hand-to-hand combat, commando style.
Do you mind if I stand up?
No, please.
Take the floor.
Take the floor. The floor is yours. You have the floor.
So, in Special Forces, we're given licence to use bespoke techniques, improvised weaponry, that sort of thing. My favourite for hand-to-hand combat is this brass knuckle, which I've adapted. I've stuck a protruding blade on one side, very sharp. What I would do is, when I'd attack the first insurgent, punch him full in the face as hard as I could until I felt a splinter of bone, that his nose was truly shattered. And then, as he's toppling backwards, grab hold of him with your right hand and bring my hand back with the blade like an arc across his throat, severing one or preferably both of the carotid arteries. You've got to be careful here because you've got to avoid the squirt of the jet of blood because, you don't want to be blinded moving on to the next fella. It's quite weird, this, actually, because if you get it right, the neck opens up completely, yawns back like a Muppet's mouth.
Oh, my God.
So then you let them drop, take care not to trip over them. I've seen that happen. And then you repeat and adapt, you repeat and adapt, you repeat and adapt, you repeat and adapt, you repeat and adapt until the cave is clear. It's very bloody, but it's quick and it's quiet, and that's why I like it. Any questions?
No.
Yeah, which Muppet?
You rejoin us on Mid-Morning Matters. Tommy Gaskell, survival expert, still with us. And on line 2, we have Sophie. Sophie, what's your tongue twister?
Did that man hurt the Muppet?
No, love, he didn't hurt any Muppets. He simply dispatched some terrorists from a radicalised RSPB in Wookey Hole. It was simply that when he slit the throats of the bad people, they resembled the mouths of Muppets. Hope that answers.
Did they get better?
Did they get better?
We cleared the cave.
No one survived, Sophie. He cleared the cave.
And when the man hurt the other men, did the man feel bad?
Did you feel bad?
It's my job.
No, he didn't feel bad, Sophie. You listen to Mid-Morning Matters with Alan Partridge and my little pocket ray of sunshine, Zoe Scott.
Speaking of sunshine, Alan, have you treated yourself to a sunbed last night?
No.
What about a spray tan?
Don't think so.
Morning, everyone. You're listening to MMM with ZS and AP or ZAP.
You've got such a lovely, engaging way with people. You really have. Seriously, it really is very commendable.
Thank you.
Okay,
So,
today
coming
is.
up, we've got...
You're in a. Do you know what? We are like an old married couple.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll be bickering all the time. You'll be drinking too much.
Hey, and then you'll get jealous of my career and run off with a fitness instructor. No thanks. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Well, she got the T-shirt. Got the shirt off her back. Really did. Fucking witch.
Well, I just found that when she strayed from historical fact into the realms of conjecture, I was all too aware of the author's hand, and that took me out of the story. Apart from that, I thought it was a very good first effort.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm a little surprised, Crispin. I found that Mantle's main characters are scorchingly well rendered. And the sharp-clawed machinations are presented with non-stop verve in a book that can compress a wealth of incisiveness into a very few well-chosen words.
That's just word for word what it says on the back of the book.
That's my book of the week. That's Hilary Mantle's Wolf Hall. Oh! Can't wait to get my teeth into that. It sounds great. Oh, do you know what? If I'd known you were going to wear this kind of pink... I mean, I know enough about colour to know this pink clashes with that pink.
Correct?
Not clash. It's
Oh,
just not quite the same.
This is raspberry, definitely.
Yeah.
How would you describe that?
I would say that's like strawberries and cream.
It is like it's like iced strawberry. It's like a strawberry milkshake.
Yes, it is. It's
I would drink you dry. I would drink you dry.
Very good.
I'm down to your boots.
Oh, God. Okay.
Can I have another?
Oh.
I'm still thirsty.
Alan, you do really remind me of my dad. You know, you'd really like him.
Well, I love dads. I am a dad. I've got a dad. Well, I had a dad.
Oh, what was he like?
What was he like, my dad? I remember one birthday he bought me this big red cake in the shape of...
Space rocket?
No.
Train?
No.
Football?
No, it was a rectangle. And I remember he came up and said, "Delivery for Mr. Partridge." Oh. I was so excited. I banged into the table and, oops, the cake went everywhere. Oh. My dad walked up to me in his blue 60s drainpipe suit with a red bow tie he insisted on wearing, and he said, "You will never amount to anything." He said, "You're that to me." Imagine saying that to a 7-year-old kid.
Alan, that's terrible.
That's not the end of the story, because as he turned round to storm off, he slipped on the cake, legs went flying, banged his head, and he needed 11 stitches. And I was glad. This is a little itty-bitty of scritty-pilitty.
If you're scratching your head wondering why Simon Denton is sitting on the sofa, do not adjust your set.
It does look odd.
Simon is here to introduce his very first item, perhaps the shape of things to come.
Well, just a one-off. He's on holiday on the sofa, but he lives at the Digi-Wall.
Simon.
Now, when one pensioner's local cinema closed, his plans for a birthday movie were scuppered. That was until his friends decided to step up and reenact his favourite Hitchcock film, Rear Window. I went along to take a look. And action!
And we're off.
Oh, that was so good. That was great.
It's good for you, mate. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's grainy black and white. Is that to look a bit...
Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely, yeah. I mean, Rear Window's in colour, of course, but I don't think that matters one bit. So how did this land in your lap?
I just mentioned it to Howard and he said, yeah, give it a go.
Yeah. Right. You know, you could always talk to me about work stuff like we agreed, mate.
Yeah.
Quick shot of you nodding.
It's just an edit point.
Edit point?
I've been here a while. I'm starting to learn how things work.
Are you?
Here comes a good bit.
Excuse me. Tiff, you're not gonna... We've got to take a rain check on Cornwall. Oh. I know. I got a couple of Japanese business associates flying in from Japan to possibly invest in the blooming production company, so...
What business associates?
John Kawasaki and John Suzuki. Yeah.
John Yamaha couldn't make it.
I suppose they are both named after Japanese motorcycle brands. No, I tried to move it, but I said, John's, could you make it any other weekend? But they said, no can do. No can do. Yeah, I know, Japanese, the way they do talk in a slightly funny way. You shouldn't really laugh.
Yeah. Japanese. Don't dick me about.
Places, people, and we're back in 5, 4.
Oh, Simon Denton reporting there. Didn't he do a good job?
And they were so welcoming, not just Annie Arnold at number 10, but all her neighbours on Davenport Close in Kirkstall. A real community.
Oh, lovely.
Are you allowed to give out someone's name and address like that on camera? I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Right, I shouldn't have assumed you knew. It's just that when you've been here a while, you learn how things work. Yeah, we're all right.
Our apologies there, just for a slight slip-up. It's live TV. We all have our moments.
He doesn't have all this problem, but he just sticks to the jokes.
I had the VT to...
Can't you do both?
No time, mate.
We want a giggle.
Give us a break.
I did, remember? Open it, stuttered my mother nervously. Yes, open it, said Dad, frightened. Cool it, cat, I breezed. This was the 70s. In my hand was a golden envelope containing the most important pieces of paper I'd ever clutched. My A-level results. What does it say? My parents whispered in absolute unison. I opened it as gingerly as a rookie bomb disposal operative would open a fat letter bomb in a creche. In a funny sort of way, the contents were just as explosive as powder-coated acetone peroxide. They spelt the difference between me attending tertiary education and being consigned to a heap marked "Don't have A-levels." And that was a mound of slag I did not want to be on. Like the bomb disposal man mentioned above, I swallowed hard and began to remove the letter within the lope. A single bead of sweat sprinted down my face, skirting around my temple and pausing at the jaw before throwing itself to its death. Bad news, I muttered. Your son has failed. At failing his exams! They were confused momentarily by the clever double negative, so I added, I passed! The "it's bad news, ha-ha, no, actually it's good news" technique is one I've always enjoyed. It was really mastered by David Coleman in A Question of Sport when he'd tonally suggest Bill Beaumont had got an answer wrong, only to reveal at the end of the sentence that he'd got it right. My parents were elated. My mum patted me and Dad joined in one of the first high fives that Norwich has ever seen. I passed, I kept saying. I passed them both. The exact grading isn't important. Suffice to say, I was the proud owner of 2 shiny A-levels, and nobody could take them away from me.
Would you say you've come to books quite late in your life, Alan?
No, that's wrong. I've been reading avidly since the age of a half. Of course, they were very rudimentary books. Some didn't even contain words. They were merely squeaked when you squeezed them, but they were certainly books nonetheless. In those books, my task might have been to identify and reproduce the sound emitted by farmyard or domestic animals, e.g. Cat, which would be...
Meow.
Yeah, but higher.
Meow.
Yeah, great. Now it's time to return to Alan's sad stories. So things were going well between Gareth and I, but that was when our relationship took a twist that neither of us could have predicted. Shit, she writes, because Gareth died. But I married his twin brother, because he had a twin brother who was identical. He had eyes like a cow too. So everything was back to normal again. Until one day I discovered Gareth's brother in a compromising position with a box of Quality Street. He'd eaten 3 or 4 in sudden succession and completely ruined his appetite for the chicken dinner I'd so lovingly prepared. I was totally crushed. It was then I realised that Gareth's brother had a chalk problem. Nothing would get in the way of his addiction. The lowest point came when I found him collapsed in a sugar-induced coma in the bogs of Yates's Wine Lodge in Yarmouth. We cried and cried that night. I reiterated my love for him, he reciprocated his love for me, and we shared a chocolatey kiss that will stay with me forever. But it was then that everything changed. Again. Because his weight had ballooned to 20 stone or thereabouts. When he came towards me to hug me, he fell on me and shattered my spine in 3 places. The police didn't believe him, and he was carted off to prison for GBH or attempted murder, I forget which. I still visit him once a week in prison, and he tells me, Alan, that he tunes into your show, and it offers him great solace, great comfort. Not that the show is aimed at the criminal fraternity in any way. The cons tend to listen to Orbital Digital, as many of them have learning difficulties. I should add, the reason I was able to visit him was because of a pioneering operation which enabled me to walk again because they replaced my spine with a new one made of carbon fibre, which is actually the material they use in the engine blocks and chassis for Formula One cars. It's actually lighter than aluminium. Yours sincerely, Deirdre. P.S. Unfortunately, I can't remember what our favourite song was. Ah, what a sad story. OK, now, please do keep your calls, texts and faxes coming in on today's big question, which is, how often should you wash your towels? Ted in Wisbeck has been in touch. I don't use towels. I use a hairdryer set on cool. It takes a bit longer, but it feels lovely. And I finish off with a little talc for my testes and bum. Lovely stuff.
Now, Alan, this isn't your first book. You've previously published another book, Bouncing Back, which was pulped?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, you'll know about that.
No, well, my book, Boy of Hope, was withdrawn, actually.
Right.
So. But does it bother you that Bouncing Back is no longer with us?
No, I don't really think it's gone. It's like biscuits, you know, if you pulp a packet of biscuits, you haven't lost some biscuits, you've gained, you know, the base of a cheesecake.
Right.
Besides, Bouncing Back was going on to a very exciting new life as recycled paper. And one particularly unkind reviewer...
we've all had them.
We've all had them, so I know you have. Yeah. But he said he wouldn't wipe his arse with it.
Oh, right.
His words, not mine. Well, if he buys his toilet roll at Tesco, he may well have done.
So it doesn't bother you at all?
No.
Clearly. Right. OK, well, let's have a question from the audience. The gentleman in the yellow jumper.
Primrose yellow.
Primrose yellow, indeed.
I want to know what you think of the book, and if you were a critic, how would you rate it?
That is a very good question. Alan, are you going to answer that?
Ooh, a tricky one. Yeah. Probably say Partridge left me astonished, elated and humbled. His is a faultless piece of work, one which hunts down and dismembers the real book before brilliantly reinventing the autobiography genre for the Skype generation. Candid and touching, wry yet powerful, Partridge is truly a book for our times, and around a tenor for 87,000 words. Partridge is no slouch in the value for money department either. 5 stars out of 5, something like that. Are you a twin?
Yes.
Right, with that man?
Yeah.
Why aren't you sitting with him?
We came separately.
Okay. Just quite distracting, sort of far apart, that's all.
If your parents were still around, Alan, what would they make of the book?
Well, books were always very important to my mother as a child. She used to read me bedtime stories. I mean, when I was a child, not her. Sure. I wasn't born. No, she would read to me for about half an hour every night before hitting the stopwatch.
That must have been really wonderful for you, very soothing.
Well, she tried her best, but she struggled with the characters' voices. I don't know why. I don't think it was because she was thick.
What did she used to read to you, for example?
Well, I remember a half-hearted attempt at Paddington Bear, which she made sound German. The same with Rupert the Bear. She basically Germanised any bear, which ruined it for me. But on the flip side, she did an outstanding noddy.
What about your dad, your father? Would he have enjoyed the book?
Well, Pop and I had a very difficult relationship, although I must say it's much better now that he's dead.
Right. Was he a keen reader, Alan?
Martin, he wasn't.
It's Chris.
The only book I ever saw him read was the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire.
Edward Gibbon, a seminal work.
Yeah, except when I picked it up one day, I found that there was a different book under the dust jacket.
And what was that?
It was The Secret Seven by Blyton, but it was one of the few things that was redeeming about my father. In many ways, he could be a very cruel, messed up guy. But I love the fact that he had this, secret love of looking at books about children.
Now, this one, it's called White Diamond. Ooh. Perhaps another one of Kirsty Allsop's bridesmaids.
Did you have a drink before you came on?
It's champagne, lime cordial, big slug of Cointreau, white grape juice, and egg white.
Like poached egg?
Oh, no, it's raw.
For God's sake, Rosie.
What?
You can't eat raw egg. It's a raw egg,
No,
Rosie.
it's a common ingredient.
Sorry, just a disclaimer. Please don't try this at home. Rosie's attempted it here, but in controlled conditions with first aiders on hand. Please